Hey there, Kingsley here. Thanks for being here with me as we unpack the 6 secret things every wife wish their husband knew. Now, if you're a wife and you're curious to see what is in this list, I'd like to hear from you to see if I'm on point at the end of listening to this broadcast. And what else would you have added to this list if you had a chance to do so? Make sure you comment in the section provided with your feedback. Now, if you're a husband or even just curious about what goes through the mind of your wife, you're in the right place. And I also like to hear from you as on your thoughts on this topic as you listen to the 6 things your wife wish you knew. Now, this video is primarily for you, Mr. Husband, and it includes some powerful insights that will help you improve your relationship and connect with your wife, I believe, at a deeper level. And I think that's what she ultimately wants. She wants you to know that she wants to connect with you at a deeper level. So you're going to have an insight, and I'm going to take you behind the scenes to see what she's thinking. Hello, I'm happy to see what she's thinking so you can know what's going on behind the scenes for her. Now, these secrets are not only important, but also crucial for a healthy and happy marriage. So I want to sit back and relax and get ready to learn the 6 things that every wife, your wife, wish you as a husband knew. And upon hearing them, I'd love to see what it is your thoughts were and what you're going to do now that you know. Now, if you're new to this channel and wondering who am I to be speaking on topics like this one, let me just say I'm Kingsley Grant, and I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist and a certified relationship coach. Now, I want to make sure that I qualify that what you're hearing here is not to be substituted for your own personal journey in getting a therapist, because I'm not being your therapist here. I'm only helping you from my own educational and experiential journey in how I've experienced this topics like this one here you're hearing me talk about. So having counseled and coached hundreds of couples over the past several years, and having been married for more than three decades, actually just almost knocking on the door of 4 decades. Can you imagine 4 decades? Where did the time go? Man, I'm telling you, it doesn't feel that way. It's kind of like sometimes I say to myself, are you been married that long? Yes, I have. And my wife can attest to that. And of course, to beautiful and wonderful adult children as well. Now, I think because of those things, my training, my work, my experience professionally and personally, I think it qualifies me, I think, to talk about topics like this one. What's your thoughts on that? I think you would agree and hopefully appreciate that. Now, the focus of this channel is to share insights, practical tips, and strategic actions for married professional Christian couples who are looking to strengthen their relationship, honor God, and ultimately have a happier marriage. Now, let me also recommend that you listen to my podcast, Happier Marriage Secrets podcast, and you can access that at happiermarriagesecrets.com and click on the podcast link. And you can see all the episodes that I've done there and many topics like these and others that you'll have access to. And it's all free at your fingertips, and it's on demand. So you can always listen to that at your own leisure, and just consume as much as you possibly can. Okay. Now, at the end of this video, I'll share with you how to get access to some free resources that I have to offer. Now, let's dive into today's topic: 6 secret things every wife wish their husband knew. Now, by the way, if you would like to get instant feedback on the state of your marriage and what to do about it, then I want to suggest you take the Happier Marriage Assessment Quiz, and you can do that in less than 90 seconds. You will have your score immediately. You will then be given access to a downloadable PDF that explains what your score means, what your marriage is all about, and you have that as a guide. And if this interests you, you can take the short quiz at happiermarriagesecrets.com happyyourmarriagesecrets.com/quiz, happyyourmarriagesecrets.com/quiz. You'll be able to have access to that. So the 6 secret things every wife wish their husband knew. That is a question. And this video, we're going to providing you with the answer. Now, here's what I do know from my own experience and personal, and also from professionally talking to so many wives. Most wives, majority of wives, I would say, based on what I've heard, love you. Your wife love you as a husband, right? But most wives love their husbands a lot. And it's hard for us as husbands to fully understand and appreciate the depth of their love for us. And this is what she tries so desperately. A wife tries so desperately to communicate to us, but we either take it for granted or we acknowledge with a slight nod. It's almost give it a very slight kind of acknowledgement. And most time, because we just don't know what to do. We don't know how to handle that. We don't know how to process that. We don't know how to best respond, especially if we were not a very affectionate, grew up in a home where affection was lavishly given to us as growing up in my home, for example. That wasn't the case. So it's kind of awkward. It puts us in a very, awkward position because we don't know what to do with it sometimes. So I want to say that as one of the reasons why we may just, in our awkwardness, and may not respond or reciprocate the way that you would like us to do, Mr. Wife. But as husband, we need to understand that she is trying to desperately communicate that to us in many, many ways. And I'm going to share with you in the six important ways that she wants you to know these things, so you can keep loving, cherishing, and caring for her. Now, the first thing I have, of the secret things every wife wish their husband knew, is that physical intimacy is not just a physical need. I know as husbands, when we think of physical intimacy, our mind is so one-tracked. We're thinking of one thing, and that is just sexual interaction, right? Sexual intercourse. That's how we see that. But she wants us to know that it's also an emotional one. It's more than just the physical act. It's an emotional, it's connecting at a deep level. And feeling desired and loved by you is essential to her happiness. Because she just don't want that kind of feeling as if she's being used and just for one thing and nothing else. There's no meaning and deeper associations. And so she wants you to know that physical intimacy is not just a physical need, and how we tend as husbands, as men, to kind of see it in a one-tracked or one-dimensional way. And she wants us to know that. So I want you to think about that, Mr. Husband, that your wife is simply saying physical intimacy is not just a physical need. And I want to drive that home for you. I have to learn that. Trust me, I'm still learning that, because the temptation is to basically be so one-track mind that we forget this piece. It has to be intentional. It has to be thought about and approached in a way that she can know that we are reciprocating and making it more than just a physical thing, right? The first thing. Number two, she wish you knew that listening attentively without trying to solve her problems, right? Sounds familiar? To solve her problems is often more valuable to her than offering immediate solutions, right? Because we are Mr. Fix It. We want to fix things for her. We think our job is to, once I hear things, it's going to Mr. Fix It mode and make sure that we take care of things right away and have a solution. Sometimes she just wants us to listen attentively and just be present, and maybe not even offer any solution or try to solve the problem, because she didn't ask you to solve the problem. She just wanted to listen. You say, well, why is she telling me if she doesn't want me to solve the problem? Precisely, she wants to connect with you. She wants you to share and empathize and just be in her shoes for a moment. So listen attentively without trying to solve her problems is one of the things she wants you to know. The third thing, she wishes that you knew sometimes that her silence is not a sign of disinterest or indifference, because sometimes she just wants to process her thoughts and her emotions. And so she may go into that space with that in mind. Now, I would want to say, though, here's a caveat. I would say that as a couple, this is something that should have been negotiated and talked about and discussed. So when this moment comes, Miss Wife, your husband doesn't have to be wondering what you're doing and why you went in this silence, because he's now left in to make up things in his own head. And trust me, we're not going to think about the best possible reasons why. So I think it's important to upfront talk about when these things happen, you would rather be in just pull away in silence so you can process, and so he can be okay knowing that's what you're doing. But Mr. Husband, she wants you to know it's not a sign of disinterest or indifference, and so you don't have to be reactive and act, kind of crazy, right? Number 4, she wishes that you know small gestures of affection and appreciation, such as a note, for example, or a surprise date night, can mean the world to her and just strengthen the bond. I give you a quick example. My wife has a rose plant in our garden, in a little island we have in front of our house, and some beautiful roses are coming up at this time of year, and so they're just a peach color roses, and you look out the kitchen window and see it right away, and they're just beautiful. So I knew that my wife, she likes it. Every now and then she goes out in the garden and she will cut some and put it in the house. Now, she haven't had time to do that. We've had a lot of rain. And so what happened was she was getting dressed to go off to work one morning, and I have a more flexible schedule. So I looked out the window and I said, okay, why don't I go outside and cut a few of those stems of roses, and clean them up and then bring them inside and get a vase and put them inside a vase. And so I went ahead and did that. She had no idea I was doing that. She was getting dressed and busy, so she had no idea I did that. And I brought it in, put it in a vase, and put it on the kitchen counter. And she came out and she saw it, and she was like, for a moment. And I was not in the close proximity. I was just basically away from the kitchen. And she found where I was. She came over and she gave me a kiss on the forehead and said, thank you. And she shared her appreciation. What a small gesture. It didn't take me a lot of work. It didn't take me much to do that. I mean, I didn't have to pay any money. I went in the garden and cut it. Said, Kingsley, you're so cheap. Well, it's not about the money. Don't miss the point. It's the small gesture. It's the thought that went into it. And she wished that that small gestures are of affection and appreciation, such as a heartfelt note or surprise date night or of the cutting the flowers, that can mean the whole world to her. And it leads to strengthening the bond of the relationship. Now, I know sometimes as Mr. Husband, you may not want to plan a date night because you don't know possibly what to do on a date night other than go out and you eat, and then you get on your phone and she gets on her phone, and you're just like, okay, what do we talk about? We've talked a lot about the kids and work and the weather, and okay, what else do we talk about? And it's hard. I know it's sometimes very challenging, and maybe that's the reason why you don't plan a date night, and because you don't know what else to do when you get out there and haven't eaten. What else? Go for a walk. Yeah, but how do you engage? Now, suppose you had, Mr. Husband, a product that you could use to engage your wife in conversation, other than just the kids and work and the weather, but topics that that you've been wanting to talk about, but not know how to bring it up because sometimes you're fearing it may lead to a confrontation or a conflict, and you don't want to. You're trying to avoid all of that, and I get it. I understand. I understand how that is. Now, if that is your thought, I'm gonna have a shameless plug here. I have a solution. I have a solution because I want to suggest to you a product that I've created that would be perfect for this kind of interaction, this time of date night, and so on. It's called the Connect Strong Conversational Card Deck. And I created this deck because I find that so many couples are struggling with this. And so it has 50 questions that you can choose from. And one, 2 questions per date outing, not more than that. And it had also suggested answers with an option to make up your own answer to the question. They are fun and meaningful, and they lead to deeper connection and stronger intimacy with your relationship. I think your wife would enjoy that, and I think you would too. And so I want to suggest that deck, you can get it at kingslaygrant.com, kingslaygrant.com. And right now you can get a $10 off discount if you're listening to this video broadcast, because in sometime in the future, the discount may not be there. So I want to say that if you go there and you're listening to much a later time than this, when I'm doing this broadcast, then I'm sorry that, that discount will no longer be there. So it's available right now. You can still check. Go to kingslaygrant.com. So all you need to go, and you'll see that menu item, click on the card deck, and you can go right into getting more information about that. And you get a code you can use to purchase a card deck, get it $10 off, and boom, you have an opportunity to plan your date night, not worry about it, just bring your card deck along, and you have more than enough time to have conversation on things that matters to the relationship, right? Again, you can access that at kingslaygrant.com. Now, okay, with that said, let's discuss the fifth and sixth thing your wife wish you knew. Now, the fifth thing is she wants you to be be an equal partner in household and parenting duties. She desires that you actively participate. I know that there might be role differentiation as far as somehow in the household is made up, but she wants you to be an equal partner. She wants you to know that it's not like a fixed role that you think this is what I do, this is what you do, and the two should never, intertwine. No, she wants you to know that to be treated and experiencing marriage as equal partnership. When God created Adam, and I'm a creationist, as you can tell. When God created Adam, he created Eve as an equal partner. He says she should be his helpmate, right? His helpmate. And so she comes along to help him fulfill the things that God has assigned him to do. But it's an equal interaction. They equally share and converse and come up with ideas. So she wants you to be an equal partner in household and parenting duties, and not just leave everything about that to her because of some stereotyped or some cultural or societal norms that you've kind of mores that you grew up with. She wants you to be involved. She desires your active participation and contribution, right? Because what it does, it creates a balance and more of a, I would say, a harmonious relationship. And she is more apt to be ready for you and to feel attracted and turned on by that. It really means a lot to her when you treat the relationship in an equal partnership kind of things that, she wants to still be the head of the household. Don't get me wrong, but she wants that equal respect for each other's contribution to the relationship, to the marriage. And the sixth thing she wants you to know is that expressing vulnerability, right? Expressing vulnerability and sharing your own emotions with her can deepen the relationship, the connection. It builds a stronger foundation for the relationship. And she wants you to know that. She wants you to know it's not weakness when you express your vulnerability. She wants you to know when you show your emotions, it's not a weakness. It's on the contrary, it's strength. It connects her with you. It makes you human. It makes you feel as if she feels as if you can understand and you can empathize with her own emotions as well. So she wished that you knew that expressing your vulnerability, right? The things, your fears, your concerns, your worries, your whatever it is going on, she expressing that vulnerability and sharing your emotions that go along with that. It really makes a difference in the relationship. And so she wants you to know these things. Again, here are the six things I believe every wife wishes their husband knew. And that's number one, physical intimacy is not just a physical need. Number two, listening attentively without trying to solve her problems. Her silence is not a sign of disinterest or indifference. That small gestures of affection and appreciation can be mean a whole lot to her, right? And also, she wants you to know, number five, is that being an equal partner in the household and parenting duties is something that she desires. And of course, number six is expressing vulnerability and sharing your own emotions deepens the relationship. She wants you to know those things. Now, these six things I want to hear from you, Mr. Husband, and you can leave a comment below. What's your thoughts? And Mrs. Wife, as you have listened, if you've kind of listened, even though it was for your husband, then you can also add, what else should I have added to this? What other things you would say that you would add to this list if you had a chance to make this list with me? Also, Mr. Husband, I would like to see what of these 6 things, what was most helpful for you? Which of these 6 lists on this list was most helpful for you? It opens your eye on something that you probably you weren't aware of. Make sure you comment below, and also remember, all the links I mentioned will be also in the description that follows this broadcast today. Everything I mentioned will be there. Now, these 6 things are what every wife wishes her husband knew. For I believe there are pillars that support the love, and there are bricks that build the bond in the relationship. So comment below if this makes sense. I'd like to hear from you, your thoughts about this. And remember, my friend, I ask you to do, while you've listened to this, subscribe to this show, subscribe to this channel. If you like what you hear, hit the like button, and also click that notification bell so that you won't miss any of the future episodes that I'm coming up with. So thank you for watching. Again, smash that subscribe button. I really count on you to do that. Again, all the links will be mentioned I mentioned today. It's in the description below. With that said, let's go and make marriages happier again. Peace out and God bless. And I'll see you on the next video broadcast. God bless you.